Let's get this party started. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Dr. Will Rogers, a.k.a. Master Teacher 33. And welcome everybody to tonight's conference call. Call it that. Invited or opened it up so that way everybody can tune in, not just the Claronomic Temple Building members, but just did a general open class or lecture tonight. We want to talk about this product creation. Specifically, we're focusing on intellectual products, which is what I do all day, every day. Since I'm a life path, basically at my core, my life optimization chart, which is the number that is divisible by the most numbers in my 4 primary numbers of my chart, is a 3. So I can take the number 3 and divide it into all of the numbers that is on my chart. Now, for some of you, you may be able to divide the number 2 into 2 numbers, not the other 2. And it doesn't really matter. The purpose of it is to find a number that is divisible by more than 1 number on your chart. You may have 1, you may not. In my case, it was really simple because the number 3 is divisible into all of the numbers that are on my chart. So that means that in order for me to optimize my life to the fullest, I need to operate in the role of a 3 through the path of a 6. So a 6 is a cosmic teacher, a cosmic parent, a caregiver. So I need to creatively care. I need to creatively teach. I need to creatively be a product producer because creativity is the 3. So I can create products in my sleep, which is the reason we're doing today's show, and which is the reason I have the life optimization class. Hopefully you're already a part of this class. If not, please email me at masterteacher33.com@gmail.com today. That email address again, masterteacher33.com@gmail.com, and let me know that you want to be a part of the Claronomics Temple Building or the Claronomics Life Optimization class. The reason why this is so important is because as I was talking to one of the clients today, actually a couple of clients, of the 4 one-on-ones that I did today, 2 of the one-on-ones dealt with tonight's topic, which is product creation. And so we want to talk about intellectual property specifically as we talk about the life optimization system, which is broken down into self-mastery, spiritual mastery, health mastery, wealth mastery, relationship, residential mastery. Those are the I think I got all of them, yeah. Self, spirit, health, wealth, relationship, residential, and premium. That's what I meant, the last one, which is what we are doing now. So how do we do that? Well, brothers and sisters, let's break this down step by step for you. Again, this is free. This is actually part of the life optimization class, but I want to put this out so that way everybody knows, because this is one of the basics of understanding product creation, because everybody has this potential. Even though it lies dormant in most people, I need to help you to understand intellectual property and intellectual product creation. So intellectual property, again, is the legal rights that are yours and yours only when you create something with the human brain. So your IP rights are very important when it comes to your claronomic or your economic prosperity. So right now, we live in my opinion, the greatest country at the greatest time in history. At this time in history, at no other time in history, most of the people on the planet have access to this thing called the internet. And right now I am using this medium to express, expose, and expand to you, especially if you logged in from your laptop or some type of, again, computer. You're able to see the video aspect of what I'm saying. And if you logged in from your cell phone, or you're able to hear the audio. So you have an opportunity right now, regardless of where you are at in the country. I have a client in New Zealand. I have another client that's in the UK. I have another client that is in Nigeria. And it's very interesting because they, no matter where they're at in the country, they are able to get my information and tune in. And a lot of these people heard about me through YouTube. So tonight I need you to understand the importance of what I try to express, expose, and expand to everybody that's a part of the, again, Clarinomics Life Optimization Team. And I need to stress that you become a member of the Clarinomics Life Optimization System so that you can understand how to use the metaphysics of Zoe and the Zao, Z-O-E and Z-A-O, so that way you can optimize your life. And so tonight we're talking about the foundation of living a Zoe life. So you don't have a 9 to 5. And if you do, that's just your party money or your extra money. But what you're doing is you're getting paid to be yourself. You become a living, talking, walking, breathing, intellectual property producer. Now, remember, your greatest motivational force is your creativity. Your creativity is based upon your life experiences and based upon what you've learned over the years. Now, if you look at, again, I'm going to put up for the people at home that's logged online so that way you can see. Again, if you look at my website, if you're able to go to, and then even if you're not at home right now, you can pull it up at your convenience. If you go to my website at masterteacher33.com, and if you click on the link that says products and services, now on that link you will see a list of my products and services. Now, these products and services that are on my website are hosted, they are parked. Now, the same way you park your vehicle, you need to park your intellectual property. So you park your intellectual property at some place that hosts it for free. Now, you should be saying to yourself, Brother Will, that's great, but I don't have no intellectual property. Awesome. I know Dr. Span would not remind me share this. We were talking with Dr. Span today, and I was talking to her about her current situation. Now, I'm not going into details about her current situation, but her current situation being challenge being problem. We just turned it into a product. Now, all of my problems I turned into products. And then I took those products and I turned them into, some of them, into 21 different streams. Now, on my website, there is a link on the second row of information that says 1 into 21. So you take one product and you turn it into 21 other products. This is a part of the course outline or a part of the Clarinomics program that I need you to join if you're not already a member by simply emailing me at masterteacher33.com at gmail.com and let me know you're interested in being a part of the Clarinomics Life Optimization course. So only thing that you got to do is this. We sit down doing our one-on-one. I will ask you certain questions. I will do all the work. All you got to do is answer honestly. That's it. All you got to do is be yourself. Can you do that? Can you be yourself? Now, for some people, first of all, we got to find the self. That's why we do Dear Kinnear reports. That's why we do one-on-one so you can find, because right now you're not authentic. And so the goal is for you to be authentically you. Now, that takes some time. For some people, they buried themselves underneath the ego and the false self, and they have been or they basically have changed themselves and became a chameleon so that way they could blend in. And so you have to be able to understand that you have to find yourself so that way we can express, expose, and expand the exponentiality or the exponents of yourself. Those are the variables that make up all of the events and all of the challenges and all of the experiences. So if there's anybody that's listening to me that has not had a challenge in your life, let me ask the question again. Because people tell me all the time, Doc, I don't have an intellectual product. Wow. I cringe when people say that. That means I know I'm talking to somebody that's not authentic. They don't know. They haven't even got in contact with their true self. So we've got to go back to the beginning of the Clarinomics program and have them go through all of the behavioral classes and the behavioral Clarinomics for them to strip away their ego and find their true self. But that's okay. The program is designed to do that for you. But once we strip away the ego and we find the true self, then that true self is constant. It doesn't change. There's a pattern based upon, now right now you're either psychopath, social path, but we got to get you on the life path. So we got to get you from being psychologically driven or being sociologically driven, where you're interested in your social status. You got to hide behind all of the socialism that you've established, and you're not living your life authentically. We may have to do that. That's okay. That's what I'm here for, to assist you with that process. But once we get there, then we're able to start addressing how to optimize your life. That's what this system is all about. Now, the first thing that we do is we focus on you. See, you can't be anybody else because everybody else is taken. You can't be me. I'm sorry. I'm being myself. Now, I wasn't before. I wanted to be somebody else. Now, I like me. And now I didn't. It took me 40 years to get to the point where I liked myself. It may take you some time. That's okay. This is not a race. So we're going to take some time. We're going to let you find you and fall in love with you. Once you find you and fall in love with you, then I have a system called 30 Steps in 30 Days. So my Abundant Life course and my 30 Steps in 30 Days, again, pretty much is free to everybody after you do your Dear Canary report. And so as I talked about last night, to join the program, again, you come in at either $300, $500, or $1,000. The cost of the program is $5,000. Now, to some people, that sounds like a lot of money. I understand. But when you compare it to the rest of your life, when you compare it to getting up in the morning, see, I was talking to Dr. Span today, and everything I'm doing right now, I wrote down or I talked about 8 years ago. Where I'm at today, I ordered 8 years ago. Now, I've been where I'm at today 5 years ago, but I've scaled it now. I monetized it now. I'm able to make a living off of it now. Now, remember, it just didn't fall in my lap. I actually envisioned what we're going to talk about. So how do we create intellectual property? Well, first of all, let's define intellectual property really quickly. Intellectual property is the property that you create with your own mind. So you are a very creative individual. Now, some of us are more. I'm a 3, 6, 9, 33. So all I am, I'm just creativity on top of creativity on top of creativity. In fact, like I was talking with Dr. Span today, and Dr. Span, our numbers are pretty much almost the same, so she didn't really need help creating. She just needed help talking. So by talking, we talked out the products. And I do that with everybody pretty much. But let's say you're a 1, or you're a 9. It's going to require a little bit more talking for you to see all of your gifts and your talents. So your product is in your creativity, and it's inside of a problem. So when you solve your most persistent problem, you just created your most potent product. Heavenly Father, touch the minds of your people. When you solve your most persistent problem, you just created your most potent product. Let me say it again. When you solve yours, now everybody in economics They tell you to go out and you do market research. You find a problem in the market. And I don't teach that. Everybody's doing it. Now, I'm interested in, I had a problem. My problem was I didn't have shizness to do. My problem was I was not raised by a black man. So I did not know how to be a black man. So I said I wanted to be a white man. So I left my culture, my race, my heritage. I went hang out with white folks because to me they had all the money. They dressed better. They drove nice cars. They looked like so. Now, I didn't say this verbally. This was an unconscious vibe. I can tell by all my friends, all my cars, everything that I did. I talked, I walked, I ate. If you talk to me even now, when people see my photograph, that's why I talk a little more hood. That's why I do it. I do this on purpose now, so that way I can make sure that people understand that I'm not Caucasian. Not because there's anything against that. It's because I want to be authentic, because I'm not being fake anymore. Now I'm comfortable with being a short black man. I wasn't before. It took time. I had to go back, and I had to fall in love with myself because I had to see worth and value in myself. So creativity comes from seeing worth and value. How are you going to create something that you don't see no worth and value? Why would you bring something to the market that you yourself would not buy? So the problem with creativity is stifled. Creativity is cut off when there's guilt and when there is shame. I'm going to talk about the source of all, this is tough, anger. See, it's interesting. All anger comes from a place. Whenever you are reminded of something that you are guilty or ashamed of, you immediately react in anger. Now, the reason why this is important is because the only way that you cannot be creative, and automatically, there is nobody that's listening to the sound of my voice that should not have at least 5 or 6 products that's bringing in at least $1,000 a month. Everybody that's listening to this, because I've talked to everybody. I did your Dear Canary report. I read. I've seen your worth. I've seen your value. I've seen how powerful and how creative you are. I look at you on. I've seen your pictures on Facebook. I've seen some of the stuff that you talk about, something that you do. I've marveled at your greatness, and I'm sitting there and I'm dumbfounded that you do what you do with the worth and the value that you have. So I'm sitting back and I'm scratching my head because I remember I did a one-on-one with you a week ago. And we talked about some issues that you should be implementing, and then you don't implement anything. And then we do another one-on-one, and we talk about some stuff, and you still don't implement. Now, I know why, because there is this negative habit pattern. That's your core belief. And until you override it by, number one, identifying it, and it's always in the form of fear, it's always in the form of shame, and it's always in the form of guilt. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, somewhere buried down in your brain. We just got to go back and find it. It's in there. We're in no rush. We'll find it. We'll find that thing that you are, ashamed of. And so every time I say that to you, it touches that. It reminds you of it. And in the event, everybody got buttons. And if I punch that button, woo, you turn Incredible Hulk mode. Tear off your shirt. You ready to tear down some buildings. You ready to open up a can of whoop-out on somebody. And then your creativity, bam, is cut off. So creating intellectual property means that you are cool, calm, and collected. I like Dr. Spain because, we was talking with Dr. And again, I'm using her as an example because I just did a one-on-one right before the show. And because I know she's cool, calm, and collected, she's not hypersensitive like a lot of people. So I can use them as an example because their sensitivity is going to be like, oh, well, Brother Will, I really didn't want you to put that out in public, brother. I really didn't. I'm uncomfortable with you sharing that information. That's how I know you're not authentic. See, when you become authentic, you really don't care about what other people think about you because you're comfortable in your own skin. Now, it takes time. It took me 50 years to get there, so it's going to take you some time to get there. But you cannot create until you get there. Now, you're going to create some gadget, like I did, So I came out the box and I created a bunch of gadget products. And I made gadget money. And that's okay. You got to start somewhere. So you bloom where you're planted. You start where you at. So I was running around downtown San Diego. Then I moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I was jogging downtown Albuquerque, New Mexico with my Daisy Dukes on and no shirt. Why? I had no worth and no value. So I had to get my worth and my value from cat calls. So I'm jogging downtown and girls would, woo, hey. And I felt like the man. Because I went home and I wasn't the man. I went to work and I was a boy. I had no worth. I had no value. I had no education. I had no ability to create because I saw no worth and no value within myself. So why would I create something from a place where there is no? So I went and I joined a multi-level marketing company. Like, there's nothing against that, but I'm my own multi-level marketing company now. I got multiple products that I market. So I don't have to join a system. I created my own. My goal for you is for you to optimize your life and for you to do the same thing that I'm doing. So we was talking to Dr. Span, and we saw great opportunities. It's like I marvel at what Dr. Span has, because in the next 30 days, it's going to be like, it's going to be awesome to watch the transforming of this creative genius. Because I always wondered how Daniel glazed up in the heaven when he was in the lion's den. I always wondered that. I always wondered how Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, those three Hebrew boys, now whether you believe the story or not is another study for another time. It's just an example. So I always wondered why, like, they didn't panic. Like if they was going to throw me in the fiery furnace, yeah, no matter how much faith and belief I got in God, I'm going to be a little concerned. If God told me to go to Nineveh, I think I'll pretty much get up and go. I don't think it would require me being swallowed by a belly of go in the belly of the whale for me to go. If I was on a burning bush and I heard a voice say, "Take the shoes off your feet, for the ground you're standing on is holy ground," I think I would pretty much take them off. And then if God told me, yeah, go to Egypt, I don't think I would say, well, God, I stutter, and I don't think I should go. And then I don't think I would need my brother to accompany me, to speak for me. See, Aaron had to go with Moses. I don't know if you read the story, because Moses had no belief in himself. See, a lot of you that's listening to the sound of my voice right now got that same concern. And the concern is a lack of self-worth and a lack of value. Now, that's okay. My job is to show you your worth, show you your value. That's why you're paying me. And if you're not paying me, that's why you will be paying me or somebody else. Because, see, right now, you got to see your creative. See, the universe gives you what you see. If you can see it, then the universe will order it. The universe, see, the way that you order, you order stuff from the universe with your vision, your spiritual vision. Everything that you order from the invisible realm, you got to use your invisible senses. Heavenly Father, touch the minds of your people. So right now you're listening to me, but you're listening to me with your physical ears. You're looking at a physical internet. And you're doing stuff with your physical hands. Yeah, that doesn't work when it comes to creating intellectual property. Because remember, intellectual property, you take it from the invisible realm and you bring it into the visible realm. So intellectual property is Hebrews 11, the entire chapter. But specifically Hebrews 11:3. Because we know that by the word, worlds was framed by the word of God. So your world is framed by your word, because you are the CEO. You are the chief executive officer of you incorporated. So your mind, your will, your emotion, your imagination, your intellect, you control. Now, you may give it over to the Reverend Dr. Bishop, or you may give it over to somebody else, but, hey, that's on you. At the end of the day, when you stand before the big G, or when you return back to the pleroma, you got to give an account for the time and how you spent and what did you do with your intellectual property. So the Father's going to ask you, hey, I gave you a very sharp mind. I gave you willpower. Then I gave you emotion, which is emotion, which is entity in motion or energy in motion. So you got this mind, you got this will, you got this motion. Then I gave you an image nation. I gave you the ability to turn images into nations. You can create an entire nation if you could just image it. If you can imagine, I gave you magic in the form of imagination. All you got to do is just imagine in your head. If you can image it, if you can picture it in your head, you can manifest it in your hands. But you're using your imagination to do what? Are you watching the Basketball Wives and you imagine what, and you're wondering what Stevie J is going to do with this person or that person? That's how we use our imagination. So we got this creative power, but we're not using it. So my job is to assist you with this creativity. And so the way that it is done is by simply what I talked with Dr. Span today. So you have to think something. That's going to allow you to feel something. And that's going to allow you to create something. So everything starts with that three-step process. So whatever you think about, you feel about. Whatever you feel about, you bring about. See, somewhere in the line, that 3 steps, one of the steps is missing. I know for a fact one of the steps is missing in that 3-step process. So the 3-step process, again, allows you to produce. So let me break it down a little further. So I have some products. I'm going to pull up my payloads. So this is where I park or host. So if you go to I have it up on my screen so the people at home, if you logged online, you can see it. And you see the list of my products. So I'm scrolling through. Now, all of these are intellectual products. This is intellectual property. It came out of my head, and I put it on paper. I put it on video. I put it on audio. I put it in a pictogram. I put it in a logogram. I put it in some type of a medium of exchange. And so I give you audio, and in exchange for the audio, you give me money. I give you video. In exchange for the video, you give me money. I give you my time. In exchange for my time, you give me money. And so on this first page, you see a list of, I don't know, I think it's like, I want to say 25 to 30 products on each page, and there's 4 of them. So you can do the math. So this is about 120 to 150 products on this one medium that I have right now. And so it's called Payloads, and it's spelled LOADZ.com/MasterTeacher33. And if you go there, you can see my page that I have to sell my intellectual property. And all of mine, now again, intellectual property means it comes out of my brain and it goes on to my paper. Intellectual property means it comes out of my brain and it comes out of my vocal cords and it's recorded onto a audio. Now, how do I record it onto audio? Well, if you join me right now, I am on a platform that I am using. Now, this platform allows me to record the video and the audio. And then I save it, I put it on payloads, and then I sell it. Again, is there anything special about me? Absolutely not. Can you do that tonight? Yes, you can. Right now, you can make an intellectual product right now. And it could be on Facebook tomorrow, and you could be selling it. You could do that tonight. Anybody that's listening to me can do it. Now, let me go to my Blog Talk, one of my 4 Blog Talk channels that I have. So I just pulled up my Blog Talk channel. For the people at home, you can see it. So I'm logging in. I'm going to go to my episodes. So these are the episodes that I recorded. Now, if you look at these episodes, and again on each page, there is, I don't know how many, but it goes up to, so I got 62 pages, and on each page there's about 10 or 15 shows. Up at the very top right here, it says 1,536 published, 10 private episodes. So I can choose to set a show where nobody can hear it and nobody can see it. It's just me. So I've done 10 of those shows. And then I've done 1,536 other shows on this one channel. I got 3 other channels. These are all intellectual properties. It came out of my brain onto a hosting medium that they recorded, and now I own that. Now, people pirate my stuff all the time. That stuff, now I could go after them, copyright, all this other stuff. That's a waste of time. I'm too busy making money to try to argue and debate or fight over a couple of pennies. So I could care less. Maybe somebody else learn something. If, hey, I'm helping somebody make some money, no problem. I'm cool with it. I'm too busy having fun. My point of the matter is, so what did I do? So every day at 12 noon, I do a show. So today I did a show called The Power of Many into One. So you see that show right here. So if I click, now what I do is, again, intellectual property. So I got 1,536 intellectual properties plus another 10. That puts it at about 1,546 just on this page. And then I got my other 3 other blog talk plays: Theocentric Nutrition, Theocentric Millionaire, and then the other one I think was Theocentric. No, it was Spiritual Power. The acronym for power: prayer, obedience, word, empathy, and relationships. Now, each one of those has some more shows, but they are intellectual property. Came out of my brain, and I recorded it. You can do the same thing. So let's say we go over to another venue. Now, the point of me sharing this with you is to show you the ease by which this is done. Okay, Doc, that sounds great. Now, let me show you the PDF stuff. Now Word has a PDF option where you don't have to do what I do. You can do your own PDF documents. So I pulled up my Lulu page so the people at home, you can see it. Now here, again, if you go down to the bottom of this page, there are 7 pages, and each page has 10 to 15 books on it. So all of my books are hosted at lu.com. So if you go to lu.com/masterteacher33, you can see all of the books that I've published. Now I have all of this stuff, at least most of them, except for the individual Dear Kinnear reports, on my on my website at masterteacher33. So what am I saying again? I'm saying I've got a plethora of books, as you guys know, 50+ books that I've published. And let's go through. Okay, here's one: what every woman should know about men but don't. So how many of you know that I have a book written to help women understand men? Most people don't even know I have that book written. I got books written that I forgot about. I can't even promote all this stuff. What every woman should know about men but don't. I got another book, Claronomics, Temple Building, which we're talking about right now. What about this book, Neurotheology and Nutrition? Diligence, the ultimate secret to being rich, Dare to be you. What about this book? Behavioral Claronomics, effective coping mechanism that leads to permanent change. That's another book. And then you see all my Dear Kinnear reports. Let's go over to the second page. Again, I'm showing you what I've already done before I tell you how I done it or how I did it. So that way you can see I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt. You can understand. And so then, again, let's look at the second page. It says, okay, biology of the temple, CSF, cerebro-cherubim spinal cord fluid, the science of willpower, being God. Then I got a couple of Dear Kinnear reports in there. The Vatican deception, the family, life after infidelity. You guys know I had a book about life after infidelity? Absolutely. The Standard. And I can go on and read it until I go through all 50 of the books, 50+ books that I've written. But again, creative or intellectual property. What did I do? I took it out of my head and I put it onto a piece of paper. Intellectual property. Can you do that? Yes. Why are you not doing that? Because you see no worth and no value. Why don't you see worth and value in your brain? Because you haven't sit down and talked it out and analyzed what do I got in my brain. So as I was talking with, I remember, again, with the 4 clients that I talked today, I talked with them, and 2 of those clients, we specifically talked about what is in their brain. And by talking about what's in their brain, we're able to take whatever's in their brain out, put it on paper. So how do we put it on paper? Well, before I break that down really quickly, let me share something for 3 secrets. Secret number 1, whatever you take out the brain, make sure you put it into multiple streams. Number 1, whatever you take out of your brain, make sure you put it into multiple streams. Number 1, whatever you take out of your brain, put it into multiple streams. Now, I have a course called 1 into 21, and I've talked about this on many other shows. It's already a part of the life optimization system. So again, I don't have to redo it. So I produced it once. And number 2, don't get fancy. Keep it simple. Residential or residual income. Number 2, when you produce something, you want to produce it and put it in multiple streams. That means I'm making an audio program. I'm making an audio book. I'm going to take what I said. I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to click on the transcription button. I'm going to make a copy of my words, and I'm going to paste it onto a Word document. I'm going to add some pictures into it, and then I'm going to publish it as a book. And then I'm going to take that book, and I'm going to go to Facebook, and I'm going to start a Facebook group. And this Facebook group, I'm going to take the people who join that group, and I'm going to send them an email once a week or once a month to encourage them to buy something based upon the subject of the group. And I'm going to take that group, and I may start a quarterly newsletter. I may start a focus group or a book club where we meet. I may start a blog. I may start a platform. There is 21 different things that I can do. Again, intellectual property, number 1, produce it once, get paid on it from 21 different ways. It's like going fishing with 21 different poles. I've talked about this before. Make sure you're doing that. How do we do that, Doc? I teach that in the life optimization class. That's why you need to be a part of the life optimization system. Number 2, keep it simple. Don't get fancy. Produce something. How do I produce it? Can you talk? Is there anybody that's listening to me that can't do what I'm doing? In private. Nobody around. Nobody listening. Remember those 10 shows that I showed you that are private? Nobody can hear it but me. But Lulu has the same option. Payloads, everything that you can do in private. You ain't got to do it in public. Or you can go to Fiverr.com and you can get a voiceover. You can just write it down, let somebody else talk if you're afraid to talk. Now you can take what you say and put it in print and create a print book. But whatever you do, make it residual. What does that mean? Tonight's talk, I'm going to put it and make it a part of a system or a package, and I'm going to be selling it. And I will sell it for the next, until Jesus come back, or until they put me in a pine box, and then I will pass it on to my sons or somebody else, let them sell it. What am I saying? I'm going to produce it once and get paid on it for the rest of my life. I'm going to touch it once. That's it. Other than maybe I'll go back and edit it. Maybe I'll revise it. Maybe I'll add some pictures to it. But other than that, I'm going to produce it once, and I'm going to get paid on it for the rest of my life. So number 1, produce something with the intention of making multiple products. Number 2, produce something with the intention of turning it into residential income. Number 3, produce something that is based upon one of the 5 business models. This is important. Number 3, produce something that is based upon one of the 5 business models. Number 3, produce something that is based upon one of the 5 business models. Business model number 1, hourly. So I got product. What is my product? I am a life coach. What do? I do spiritual therapeutics. Okay, Doc. You lost me there, brother. Oh, I'm glad you asked. Go to my website. If you go to my website, you're going to see this. You're going to see something that says this, spiritual coaching, and you're going to see something that says spiritual therapy or spiritual therapeutics. And then you will see the difference. Coaching is motivational. Therapeutics is totally different from coaching. So therapeutics has to do with me going deep down and do what I'm doing right now. Therapeutics is didactic. Therapeutic means that it's therapy. That means that we're going to go down and we're going to find the thing that is allowing or, number 1, prohibiting you from moving forward. and then we're going to heal it. We're going to remove it. We're going to dig into it. We're going to find the spiritual force, the frequency, the wave, the vibration. I call it the negative habit pattern. We're going to find that, and we're going to transmute that. We're going to replace it with your life-sustaining. So spiritual therapeutics is designed to use what I call spirituality, which use truthology to go deeper. Therapeutics, again, is deep massage, if you will. It is deep thinking. It's way deeper than coaching. So spiritual coaching is totally different than spiritual therapeutics. So spiritual coaching is more mentoring. Spiritual coaching is more motivational. Spiritual coaching is more encouraging. Now, I know the difference between the two, and I go in and out of them. So my job is to make sure you don't have to necessarily know the difference between the two. You just need to be understanding that that's a benefit that you're receiving as being a part of the Claronomics, again, life optimization course. You get one-on-one spiritual coaching or spiritual therapeutics depending upon your place and your ability to create. Because if you can't create, you need therapy. Because that means that you're fake. That means that you're not real. Now, you don't know that. You think you're real, but you lost yourself. You've been acting so long that you think that the role, you think the guy or the gal that you're playing, you think that's you. You don't even know the fact that, oh, that I'm playing a character in a role. You've been a mother so long that you think that you're a mother. Now, you wasn't born with children. So when your children grow up and they leave you and they say, bye-bye, mama, you're going to be like, oh, what do I do now? You've lost yourself. If you're a daddy, that's not your purpose. Now, that's a part of it. That's what you're doing now. Now, you got multiple purposes because you are multifaceted and you live on multiple dimensions. So my job is to assist you with this multiple creativity. And so we're going to, again, express, expose, and expand your creativity by making you be authentic. And I have an entire book entitled Being God. I have another book called Being Authentic. It's part of the Abundant Life series that I give everybody pretty much for free. Before we even start the life optimization class. And so you need to do, number one, these are the 5 business models. Please write this down. Unless you're seeing this at home, and then you're watching it on the video. Number one, hourly model. I charge my clients per hour, half an hour. That's a business model. Now, if you notice, I got all 3. I'm sorry, all 5. Remember, I don't leave no money on the table. I make sure that I get paid. So I use all 5 models. I produce 21 products with 1 effort. And I make sure that I'm not only doing residential or residual income, but I'm also doing premium income. That means I got residual income. Every month, I get paid on something. But I also got premium content where I get 1 big ticket item. Well, which is my life optimization course, which sells for $5,000 or $1,000 a month or $500 a month, depending on which way you opted in. Now, I also do life coaching. Business model number 1. Doc, I need to talk to you, man. I got an issue. Okay, go to the website, make a payment, and then I'll schedule you for a one-on-one. Hourly. Number 1 business model. Hourly. That is when you charge a client by the hour. Now, this is a good way to get started, but it's not a good way to stay. Let me say that again. Hourly is a good way to get started, but it's not a good way to stay. Number 2. Retainer model. See, the retainer model, very similar to the hourly model, but what you do is you get the people to pay you for a block of time up front. And they pay you to be on standby. Now, this is a great way to get people to pay you in advance for service you're going to render in the future. Now, you really don't know that's what you're doing when you sign up for the life optimization class, but you're paying me for 1 year's worth of one-on-ones. That's a retainer. You are retaining me for 1 year. That's a part of the $5,000 that's included in this course. That's called the retainer model. Why? Multiple dimensions. See, I maximize myself and my time. Number 3, project model. This is when I have an entire, now this is at the $10, $15, and $20,000 level. I'm at the $5,000 model right now. I haven't even really started promoting the higher level because I'm building my business. Pretty soon, I'm going to go and start promoting franchisees. I'm going to start promoting affiliates. And then I'm going to start promoting what I call kit building, where everything that I'm telling you to do, I do for you. You don't do nothing except send me your name, your address, your date of birth, your blood type, and your time of birth. After that, give me about 30, 40 days. I send you back a complete system. All you do is just like a car. You just get it in and drive. Now, that's $20,000. Anybody want to do that? We can do that. Project model. That's when I do a specific project for you, and I provide you with the project, a completed project. You take the project and you put the project into work. I call it a kit. This is a kit builder. I build a kit for you. It's like a franchise, and you take off running with it. Number 4, the monthly model. You know I got that. Why? Because I have some clients who elected not to pay me $5,000 in cash and take the $1,000 discount. So for everybody that paid me in full, you know that there's a $1,000 discount for paying the program up front. So if you want to save money, you just pay $5,000. But let's say you don't have it, or you don't want to pay the $5,000. You can use that $5,000 for something else. So you go with the monthly payment model. So every month you pay me either $1,000 or $500. Those are the 2 options that I have. Again, every month, this is the monthly payment model. And then the 5th model is the performance model. Now, the performance model, again, is when you get paid based upon a specific set or performance. Now, my dear Keneal is very similar to that. In other words, I'm going to perform something for you, which is what? Do a Dear Keneal report. And you're paying me. The better model now, this one I don't really use as much. It's more like if you are into, like my daughter, she has a dance company. So they do a performance, she get paid. I really don't have too much of stuff where I do a performance. Now I do perform a service, which is very similar, and after the performance of that service, in this case, 600-page Dear Keneal report, I get paid. So the 5 models are the hourly model. You get paid every hour. The next model is a retainer. You pay me. I set aside a certain amount of time. I put that amount of time. I set it aside. Everybody's part of the Clarinomics. We do one-on-ones for a year, so I set aside. You retain me for 1 year. Project model. Now, I've done a few of those. I'll tell you guys about my one buddy of mine that, again, I built a kit for him, and he's doing great. I told one person who, started, didn't pay me, just kind of stole the stuff, and they're out there doing it. So, the project model, I want to start doing more of those. Again, it costs $20,000, but everything I'm talking about right now, you got to worry about doing, because it's easy for me to create. I can create as many products as you want. And I can do that anytime you want. If you tell me, Doc, I need a book on how to cut your lawn in 5 minutes or less. Okay, give me 30 days. I have a book, pictures and everything. I'll ghostwrite it for you. If you need an audio program, whatever type of a product that you need, I can produce. Why? I love creating. I got 100 books downstairs in my garage that I haven't even touched yet. One of them probably is covering the subject that you're interested in. Guaranteed. Or if not, I can have your book done in a week. Why? That's my gift. So that's a project. So I can get paid to do projects. Now, I do big ticket projects. which is again performance a little bit, which is number 5. But number 1, hourly. Number 2, retainer. Number 3, project. Number 4, monthly. Primarily, that's my bread and butter. That's the one I do the most. That's the one that most of the clients, most of you guys are on. Most of you guys pay me a monthly, payment in exchange for my products and my services and my information. Last but not least is the performance. We agree, Doc, I need you to perform. I need you to, jump through this hoop. If you jump through this hoop within this amount of time, I'll pay you this amount of money. So I don't use this one very much, but every once in a while somebody say, hey, I need my Dear Keneal report done in 3 days. Okay, normally I say 10 to 14 days. Well, no, that's not good enough, Doc. You don't understand. I need you to perform, brother. I need you to get mine done in 2 days. Okay, I can do that. But in exchange for that performance, that level of performance, it's going to require a little bit more money. Performance model. So those are the 5 models, again, that I use when it comes to creating intellectual property. So last but not least, brothers and sisters, let me let you in on the secret to intellectual or creating intellectual property. I always try to save something for the people who stick around for the whole hour. It's hard. I understand. Everybody's time is valuable. Time is money and all this stuff. So I always try to save the best for last for the people who stick around for the last 5 minutes of the show. That way you walk away with something. Now, for everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice, the best way, or the easiest way for you to create a product, a service, or an information is that when you think about the thing that pisses you off, there is something that everybody has what they call a pet peeve. What's your pet peeve? Now, it's very hard for people to think about what they want or what they like because we got so much stuff we like. But everybody knows what pisses them off. What do you hate? Can you write down right now on a piece of paper what you hate? If you need help coming up with a product, service, or information, just email me what you hate. Just write down what you hate on a piece of paper. I hate blank. Write it down. I hate blank. Me, y'all know already. I hate lies or disinformation. My purpose in life is to replace error with truth. Now, I go about it in a different way because that's not really what I do. I uplift the spirit of humanity. But the thing that holds down the spirit of humanity is everybody being lied to me. Everybody's ignorant. We live in a world of smoke and mirrors. Everything that you believe is a lie. Everything. Email me something that you believe in. I guarantee you it's a lie. You say, Brother Will, I believe in blank. Write it down and send and email it to me. And if you tell me you believe in, people say all the time, Brother Will, I believe in, and I don't want to, mess up no sacred cows. What? No, I believe in the government. I believe in the nutrition that they eat. Well, Brother Will, I believe in, there's truth in lending and advertising. Brother Will, I believe that, I'm worshiping the true and living Brother Will, I believe in whatever you believe in, write it down and email it to me, and I'll tell you that is a lie. And then I'll give you the proof and evidence if you need it. Now, you already know it in your gut. You already know that the Bible says that there is none righteous, no, not one. The Bible says that light came into darkness, and darkness perceived it not. Darkness says, get up out of chimp. And so the light left because darkness did not want it down here. So everybody already knows that. But, again, if you want to create a product, all you got to do is write down what you hate. Some people hate, the way women are treated. They just think it's appalling. Women are regulated to second class. That just, when you grew up and you saw your mother, some people hate, the food industry, the way they treat pets. Some people hate that. Some people are environmentalists. They just hate the way the environment is being misused. They cutting down all the trees. They, flooding water. What do you hate? Some people hate all the religious denominations. Some people hate racial issues. Why are black and white? Why are we divided? What do you hate? I'm talking like Not a strong dislike. I mean, like, you would take a bullet for this. Now, a lot of people say, child abuse. I don't understand it. I hate it to see an adult, especially like sexual abuse. There's a lot of people hate. Now, I got a lot of stuff I dislike too. But the thing I'm talking about is the thing that you experienced when you was a kid. Now, see, I was raised in a cult. That's why I hate. I'll take a bullet. I'll probably put a bullet in your head too. If you start a cult and invite me, I'll show up. But I'm going to show up packing. I hate people who take advantage of other people with misinformation. Why? It happened to me, happened to my mama, happened to my, and then I used it. I enrolled, I had my kids in a private school, paying $300 a kid, and they was abusing them. I took them out and I put them in public school, and them suckers, they said they was 2 grades behind in every area. And they told me in the private school that they had advanced them. I put them in. But now, again, I'm telling you what I hate, and I'm telling you why, because I need you to think about this before you email me at masterteacher33.com at gmail.com and tell me what you hate, and I'm going to tell you how to monetize it. This is your product. Your product is what you hate. That's your product. That's the first product you start with. You always start with where you bloom. You bloom where you plant it, man. You don't go out and try to freaking. Now, you may end up out in, in left field, but right now you're in right field. So while you're in right field, how about we take care of the grass in right field? Then we'll get you over to left field. But for right now, bloom where you plant it. What do you hate right now? See, where you are right now is a result of where you was at when you was a kid. Everything that you're doing right now, the person that's driving your soul is an 8-year-old child. An 8-year-old child is sitting in the seat of your soul right now, and he's tearing up stuff because he's 8. You gotta relieve your 8-year-old child, the 8-year-old you. You gotta replace. Now, how old are you now? 30? How old are you? Now, I'm knocking on 60. So why in the world would a almost 60-year-old dude be doing stuff with an 8-year-old mind? Yeah, that dog don't hunt. That's why we can't optimize our life, because, again, remember, the brain slows down. Your character is solidified by the time you're 8. Some people say 6. So by the time you're 8, your whole identity is established. The way you think, the way you act. So you are being controlled right now by an 8-year-old kid. And if you don't get that 8-year-old kid out of your mind, your will, your emotion, your imagination, and that's why you're so emotional. That's why you get pissed off every time I start talking. That's why you don't want to do with nothing, nobody. That's why you want to buck the system. That's why you overeat. That's why you watch TV all day. That's why you're a grown-ass man and you sit at home freaking playing PlayStation and you ain't got no job and your wife is working too? Come on, homie. Throw the beep up. We all got to mature. Me too. I'm the ringleader. But I'm pretty much older than everybody. Remember, I'm knocking on 60. So anybody older than me? Yeah, probably not. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. This is an old dog. I'm learning a bunch of new tricks. And I'm teaching everybody else who will listen. So please, if you're not already part of the life optimization system, man, this system is a cookie blower. As Dr. Span will tell you, Brother Roman will tell you, Sister Seda will tell you, Sister Ellen, everybody that's enrolled part of the system, everybody's having a great time. Everybody's growing. Now, ain't nobody blowing the doors off the system because we got to get over it. We got to get rid of the 8-year-old kid that's sitting in the seat of the show. And guess what? He, she, they don't want to leave. That's the old man. The old man is not leaving, so we're going to starve him or her to death. We're going to stop feeding them, and we're going to replace the negative habit pattern, that 8-year-old version of you, with the new life-sustaining pattern, the current 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever, however old you are, that version. We're going to put them in the seat of your soul, and they're going to drive your mind, your will, your emotion, your imagination, and your intellect. And with my assistance, we're going to show you, I'm going to show you your worth and your value. So you're a king's kid. It's time to start acting like one. Brothers and sisters, I love you. I appreciate you. God bless you. Remember, email me, masterteacher32.com at gmail.com. Let me know what you like. Let me know, Doc, I'm ready to join your system, homie. Here's my 300, my 500, my 1,000, my $5,000, wherever you want to start in, get in where you fit in. Let's rock and roll. Because why? We got bigger fish to fry. Let's get busy. I love you guys, and I'll see you at the top. God bless.